Beloved will not be Oprah's only lackluster project. In 2000, she invests in a new television network for women called Oxygen, while the channel and its related website struggle. Oprah has more immediate success with the launch of her magazine, O.
Every month, we're going to try to present a magazine that allows you to see yourself differently, that offers an opportunity for you to experience the interior life, peel back the layers of yourself, look at who you really are, read stories about other people who have done it, accomplished, dreamed big, done well.
Her magazine carries the same message of personal fulfillment and self-empowerment as her show. And to help make sure editorial issues are brought to her attention, Winfrey hires best friend Gayle King to be O's editor-at-large.
The real test is whether or not O can tell bad news and be honest in the same way the show is, because advertisers don't like that.
The launch of the magazine sells a record-breaking 1.5 million issues, and its continued success is likely, with Winfrey gracing the cover and constantly demanding more from herself and her staff.
She came from very humble beginnings to become one of the greatest media people of all time.
Oprah came on in the 80s, grabbed the baton, and she's still running. And I say, God bless her. I just think it's a wonderful success story, and a well-deserving one. She's just a very, very unusually talented woman.
I'm really the most relaxed I've ever been at one of these.
Today, Winfrey's wealth is estimated at more than $1 billion. She is the first African-American woman to become a billionaire.
Here is our O.
It's been 15 years since the launch of Oprah's O magazine, and ET has been there for every step along the way.
The magazine is called O because it is my vision. It is my ideas about what I have learned over the years. You know, I've done a lot of talking.
To see it come from little pieces of paper into a full magazine is really very exciting. To be able to touch it, feel it, hold it, and I think she looks pretty good, that O magazine.
Oprah's famous friends gathered for the launch party in 2000, including Rosie O'Donnell, Barbara Walters, Diane Sawyer, and Martha Stewart.
Putting out a magazine is really hard, but Oprah's done a lot more than I have.
A year later, and the mag was already a smashing success.
It just resonates as, gee, we did a good thing, that we had an idea and it worked.
Over the years, we've been behind the scenes for some of her most memorable cover shoots.
Little mythology.
178 covers. Lady O wearing everything from glamorous gowns, colorful knits, to classic white shirts, and even a simple leotard. And who could forget the hair?
All about the hair.
From O's 10th anniversary cover,
It feels timeless, as I hope it will be.
to the stunning black and white issue for this year's 15th anniversary. What will Oprah think of next?
Our magazine is really about enhancing who you are, not saying you have to be like, do like anybody else.
Okay. This is dated July 16th. And it's an email from you called A New Awareness. I'm going to share it, okay? Parts of it. You say, "My Lady O, please forgive me if I ramble. I'm just back from Miami, where we shot a long, long day with Evelyn Lozada, star of Basketball Wives, and the wife of bad boy Chad Ochocinco. As I sat holding Evelyn in my arms, she who has portrayed herself to be a foul-mouthed, ill-tempered, raging maniac, I finally got that there's something bigger than we could have ever imagined going on here. I'm not sure what to call it or if it has a name at all, for that matter. What I know for sure is that what the world is about to see in Iyanla Fix My Life is so enormous that I can hardly contain my humble gratitude for the grace in which I stand. OWN indeed has a vision and a direction to facilitate healing in the world. Oh my God, you write, for this moment I was born. I only wish Jamia was here to see it, to be in it with me. I know she is with me in spirit, so now I weep. I know it's not been an easy, road. I know you've taken a lot of heat and that there are many, many naysayers, not to mention haters. What I really want to say is this is not about me at all. This may not even be about you. This is about women, all women, particularly women of African descent, bringing a depth and power of humanity and healing into the world in a way that is sure to have a ripple effect. When I was praying the other day before we started the shoot, I was led to the same scripture that was given to me when I was ordained 16 years ago, Isaiah 61. The Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is upon me, for the Lord has anointed me to bring good news. Thank you for that. Really, thank you for that.
I think that, like I said to you, I have to stay there. Less the ego.
You have to stay there.
I have to stay right there.
Well, let me just tell you what that moment did for me. This has not been an easy climb.
I know.
But I have tried to hold on to the vision. I've had to expand the vision, do some things that I didn't think I would ever do. But trying just to hold on to the vision. And literally, this show that we're doing right now, Super Soul Sunday, is the heart of that vision. And the work that you are doing is the soul of that vision. It is the manifestation of what I had in mind when I said, all right, I'm going to say yes to the network. So getting this letter from you on July 16th was like the voice of God. It was literally God speaking through you saying, you're doing it. You're doing it. Yeah. You're doing exactly what you set out to do. And then I saw those shows. I mean, I saw those shows that you are doing and have done, and that, you know, I realized that it is bigger than me, it's bigger than you, and that to be able to offer that in such a way that people can see it. And that's really what it is. It's an offering.
What Super Soul Sunday does, what I know Young Love Fix My Life is going to do, it's going to validate people's stories, people who haven't been seen, who haven't been heard. And again, it's a Young Love Fix My Life, but I don't do the fixing. The people do the fixing. God does the fixing. Yeah. You know, Marianne Williamson's prayer. Where would you have me go?
Yes.
What would you have me do? What would you have me say? To whom? To whom?
The real reason it worked is that when I sat across from Oprah face to face, it wasn't social media, it wasn't texting, it wasn't phone. And you know, we hadn't met before, but 20 minutes into that conversation, there were 10 people at the table. Oprah grabbed my hand. We walked back to her office. She opened her desk drawer and she took out her diary. And it was from 15 years earlier. And she read it to me. She said, and the diary said, someday I'll have my own network. And she looked at me and she said, you know, we're going to do this. So we launched with all this great spirit, right. And people looked at it and mostly they said, you know, it feels like vegetables. It's not entertaining enough, it's not exciting enough. And for 2 or 3 years, the channel was really struggling. And so we put on one show in the African American space, and it was #1 on Saturday night in that space. And from that, we said, okay, if that's working, let's keep going. Today, it's the #1 network for African American women. You know, we brought in Tyler Perry. It's a great success, but it's not what we thought it was going to be. Yeah. The audience told us what they wanted it to be. Yeah. There is not one business that I've been involved in that has worked the way we thought it was going to work. There's always a series of challenges.
At the Oprah Winfrey Network, Presidents Eric Logan and Sherry Salata are often in separate cities, but they're always on the same page.
We almost know intuitively, thousands of miles apart, what each other's feeling and thinking.
OWN's been on a roll of late. Discovery CEO David Zaslav says OWN's starting to pay back his company's investment in the network, and it's cash flow positive ahead of schedule. It's a different story than when OWN launched on New Year's Day 2011.
Yes, the Oprah Winfrey Network is finally on the air.
At the time, Oprah was juggling OWN's beginning with the end of The Oprah Winfrey Show. OWN's early ratings failed to meet the hype, and Oprah soon stepped in as CEO. Logan and Salata, who had been running Winfrey's Harpo Studios, came aboard to handle the day-to-day.
I think we've learned that the network needs to have a smile and have some fun too. Yeah. And I think that, in the early days, the network took itself a little too seriously.
This past weekend, the network says more than 1.8 million people tuned in for Oprah's exclusive interview with Lindsay Lohan.
Oprah can still get the big gets, and they become tent poles, for our network.
Just as important as those exclusive interviews is OWN's relationship with Tyler Perry. The powerhouse behind mega hits like Medea's Family Reunion is now making exclusive shows for the network, like the standout The Haves and the Have-Nots.
I want $100,000, or I burn your little playhouse down.
Tyler and Oprah know each other. Tyler understands the brand, and clearly with his drama and his comedy have struck a chord.
Advertisers have taken notice. OWN signed up 30 new clients at its upfront event this year. Logan and Salata are also talking to longtime advertisers like Microsoft about ways to work their brands into OWN programming. And then there's the Oprah factor. With the network's namesake currently starring in the film The Butler, Salata gave Bloomberg West a taste of what could be coming.
If I were really going to tell you, like, my little secret dream, which I know Eric shares, that isn't on the table in terms of really serious business discussions quite yet, it's for Oprah to star in something, to act in the original something on her network.
On her own network.
Yeah, we'll see if she ever decides to do that, but wouldn't that be something?
John Ehrlichman, Bloomberg, Los Angeles.
So how about we meditate on this?
They call it the Oprah effect. The media mogul has left a trail of success with nearly every property she's touched, from her talk show to products she has endorsed in her favorite things segments, to personalities.
One New Year's resolution each year.
Like Dr. Phil, who was a frequent guest on her show and has since built his own successful franchise. Now, after 5 years on the air, Winfrey's OWN television network has found success. OWN is currently the highest-rated cable network among African-American women and ranks in the top 20 among all women. And in 2015, it increased its overall audience by 11.6%, while several of its peer networks suffered ratings losses. OWN had difficulty finding an audience when it first launched in 2011.
I'm blessed, I'm beautiful, I'm talented, I'm valuable, I'm creative, I'm disciplined. That's doing something on the inside of you.
With a programming slate mostly made up of self-improvement talk shows. But in 2012, things began to change.
Did you ever take banned substances to enhance your cycling performance?
Yes.
High-profile interviews with former cyclist Lance Armstrong and actress Lindsay Lohan helped viewers find the network. And as its lineup shifted to more scripted series, Winfrey took a more active role in hearing pitches and reviewing scripts. The network also got a boost when it signed on writer-producer Tyler Perry, who currently has 4 series on the network.
I wouldn't be here if I didn't trust you.
Including the soap opera-style series The Haves and Have-Nots, currently OWN's highest-rated show. And that growth comes at an opportune time, because in the era of cord-cutting, many cable networks seeing lower subscriber counts are under pressure to justify the fees they charge cable companies for carriage. While the OWN network is seeing success, the Oprah effect has been slow to catch on for her most recent high-profile investment.
I love bread.
After Winfrey bought a 10% stake in Weight Watchers in October, the company's subscriptions continued to fall in the fourth quarter. But since Winfrey's commercials began airing in late December, the company's CFO tells the Wall Street Journal that enrollment is now growing.